Hello and welcome back to the channel. I've had a break. This is the first new video of the new season. Hopefully you enjoy it. We are on Bach. Bach is switching gears. He already gave us a big heads up with that massive big set of notes we've just finished learning and playing, hopefully. And we're diving into arpeggios. Quick note, I've done a little bit of a discussion at the end of this to explain editorial decisions and to show you what Bach is actually doing in the original score compared to what we're doing on the guitar. So if you want to hang around for that at the end, otherwise we're just going to dive straight into the fingering. Here we go, back in Bach Chaconne here on Classical Guitar Rocks. Alright, here we go, variation 23. Fingers first. 2, 4, F and A. Can you see in the alternative angle I've got my finger turned around because I have to clear. Got to clear that D string as we play through this. Alright, 2 and 4. 6 repeats of your right hand. You're then going to bounce down to the E, so it becomes E and G. Again, 2 and 4, again clearing that D string. 4 repeats there before we put our first finger down on the C sharp. Right hand changes twice, and then we're into the next bar. And again, I've decided to keep it 2 and 4. So again, D and F 4 times, and then you're going to go into D, A, and F. Twice before full bar across 5 for the G. Fourth finger stretches out for that B flat. Second finger on the F. Back off. Third finger on a D. Lasering ahead. Second finger getting prepped. E and D. A bass note. And then half bar, super important because we're going to slide it up into the next variation. That's actually quite important, just that moment there, because we actually phrase across the bar line, so we have this that's where the resolution is, and then the next idea picks up at beat 2 of the next variation. Alright, that's already a lot. I'm just going to play through that real slowly so that you can see and understand what is going on with bass notes this time, and we'll discuss them in a second. Okay, so Bach only plays the first 2 semiquaver beats of this, and he shows us how to separate the notes into the arpeggio, and he has written, which we are interpreting as, we're then going one step further because we can on the guitar, and again this is your choice, we're optionally able to lay that low E string in. So again, I'm going to move my right hand away, and you're going to stroke through the E into the A string and make sure that you really hit the melody note. To really make it clear what it is exactly you are doing there with the notes. Right hand pattern is generally P-I-A, or it'll be P-I-M as you switch to the inner strings sometimes here. But again, that's an optional choice. You could probably get away with doing P, I, and M the entire way through with a stretch between the I and M. Alright, we're going to do a quick discussion in this video now because we're on a brand new set of musical ideas from Bach. I want to explain some editorial decisions that I have made and that you are able to make it for yourself. Across the screen right now you can see the full original manuscript. So we have Bach's original pointing idea where he is like, that's what he's written for, obviously violin, whether that's a cross-stringed or a pull-off. I'm not 100% confident to be able to say definitively either way. But as a guitarist, we then reinterpret that as a cross string with the melody note. We are then also able to put that D. So Bach has then continued on in that vein, except he has then just written out the chords, the basic information, because at the time in the Baroque period, performers would know to just carry on the arpeggio, as it says there, arpeggio at the top. What's interesting though is the bass line, and I think from any Baroque piece, it's always built from the bass up, so you need to take note of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play through the original quickly of 23 and actually 24, so that you can see. So we have a low, Bach wants a low bass for 2 beats. So again, just keeping in mind that we have this arpeggio idea. We have D and F, D and E, and then an E on its own, then D, D, ringing out together. Again, one of the reasons why I separated the fingers. Then D on its own for a beat. Then we get G for 2 beats, an A, and then we get a D for 1, A, B flat, C, before it resolves back to. Bach's been very clear about that. So as an editor, and I have put it in the score with brackets, I have decided to take the Ds where he has placed them and make them into low Ds. Now obviously we're in this first section. It's a main idea. We can get away with banging on that low D over the F and A. No low D as we change into the E and G, but again that could be a choice. Low D again when we get to D and F. No D, G, A, and then on the resolution of the end of this, I have decided not to put a low D. You could, but it kind of destroys what Bach is doing, because Bach is now setting up the next variation, and he's saying bass notes are going to be quicker. And then you could probably resolve it at the end there into variation 25. However, that actually becomes a choice for you as a performer. You don't need to do those low bass notes at all. Bach's music stands on its own. It always has. Anything extra added, and guitarists are notorious for this, generally adding in extra bass notes. Don't need to do it. So what I suggest you do is play through it once or twice or a couple of times with the bass note, and then take the bass notes out. And then make a decision as to whether or not you want to keep any bass notes to really highlight where the ideas change. In this section, you'll see that Bach actually does the ideas in 2 waves. So 4 bars, kind of the same idea, 4 bars, same idea, until it gets nearer the end. Thank you very much for staying until the end. The next video in the series is going to pop along just about now. I am determined to finish every single one of these 64 variations. So hang in there, it's going to take a while. This has been your daily dose of 6-string inspiration from myself, Rain, Melodious Mortar, and classical guitar rocks.